Hi, my name is Candy, and I work for hospice. I take care of people that are dying or very close to death. And sometimes when I go to those homes, they are desperate because at homes, they have no God. But they do have a God, but it's a God that either they've forgotten the power of our God or they are very close to death. And what they do is that they just fill their hearts with desperation. I had this little tract in my pocket one day when I went to take care of a patient that it was very close to death. On my shift, I took care of him and I introduced myself. I told them I was the nurse from hospice and they received me very well, but when the wife came to the door, she says, he really needs somebody right now. He's very depressed and he's very down. And I pulled from my pocket this little tract that is, where is God when I'm hurting? And I said to her, here, this is for him. And she goes to the bed and talks to him and she says, honey, Candy brought you something. And then she shared with him this little tract. He said to her, read it to me. So she opened it up and she started reading to him. And he just looked at me and she looked at his wife and he paid attention through the whole thing. Then at the end of the shift, I noticed that he was very weak and I was ready to go. But then the wife said to me, do you know anybody that can help me take care of him? And I said, sure. I said, I have a person that I can refer to you. I don't know her very well, but she did really well when I worked with her the shift before. So I gave them just several names, not just this one. And they called her up, and I also talked to her, and I explained to her the situation. And this man had several tubes and he needed some care and everything. And she was familiar with it, so she was not scared or anything. But she knew that this man was very close to death. So anyway, the next day I follow up with a phone call because they wanted to know if everything was okay. So when I called, I asked if they had contacted this person that I had referred, and they said, oh yes, she's going to come to work with us. And I got a call from her that morning, and she said to me, you know, she says, I really like what you said. She says, and I assure you that you're not going to be disappointed. So I said, can I talk to the wife? So I talked to the wife, and I asked her how things were going. She says, well, he's very depressed. He doesn't want to eat. He doesn't want anything. He knows that we have somebody to help him because he's not doing well at all, and he's going to die. And I said, well, let me tell you something. I said, this person that is going to work for you, this caregiver, is not a Christian. I knew for a fact because I had talked to her for 8 hours before, on the shift before, because we worked together. So I said to her, I said, tell him that God is not done with him yet. Tell him that he has to win one soul for Christ yet. And this soul is the caregiver that I referred. She needs to know Christ. He's a pastor. He is an evangelical pastor, and he needs to do his work. The Lord is sending this person to him. And so she says, oh, that'll be perfect. So she goes, and we're still on the phone. She has it on speaker, and she says, honey, this is Candy on the phone, and she says that you need to win this one more person for Christ. What do you say? And you know, the thing is, this little tract, this little tiny tract, brought hope and brought the Holy Spirit back to this minister's mind where he had forgotten what kind of a God we serve, a God that is so powerful. And because this little tract, now he's working on this precious soul that Jesus died for. We need to continue passing on these tracts because they have the message that Jesus wants them to hear. I hope you continue passing these tracts. To me, every patient I see is going to get one. I hope you do the same with all your friends and with your family. May God bless you.